Hello there. My name is Ted Sass. I live in Omaha, Nebraska. And thank you for taking a few of your minutes to view my Teddy-O video. Puerto Rico Cash Awards Debt Protection Solution for local independent business owners in your city, USA. You know, everybody knows that our poor Puerto Rico has really got smashed, and Texas, Florida, Louisiana, some other parts, Alabama, uh, just been terrible with the hurricane situation. It got me to thinking. I've been listening to President Trump here in the last couple of days, and I got people on Wall Street a little upset and down in Puerto Rico when he started talking about the massive debt that we were looking at for Puerto Rico before the hurricane problems. Before everybody that's tuned into what's going on in the financial world understands that uh, there's a massive Puerto Rican financial problem with regard to the debt. Now the question, uh, everybody in business, especially local independent business owners around the country, there's all 32 million of you, approximately, uh, should be aware of is that who owns that debt. I mean, let's get up close and personal. Who owns that debt? That massive billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars of debt. Forget about the national debt total, but look at the Puerto Rico debt of hundreds of billions on top of now the rebuilding debt that has to be financed to rebuild Puerto Rico. You're not just going to move all the Puerto Ricans, citizens of the United States, off the island, I don't think, and bring them to wherever. I don't think we're going to do that. I think that everybody's going to double down. We're going to rebuild it. And Of course, but let's get down here where the grass grows, and let's look at all this debt. Now, who owns that debt? Like I said, you own that debt. And if you don't think you do, get on the internet and search out who owns the Puerto Rico debt. And when you look at the debt financing on Wall Street, hundreds of billions, the bottom line is the debt is all assumed by the good faith and credit of the citizens of the United States, and who generates the income for the economy of the United States? The customers, the citizens of the United States, the customers that are served by local independent business owners and then the national franchises and national companies, of course. But let's be honest. There's only a hundred or a few at most, if you want to even get into the thousands. There's only a few thousands big businesses. There are over 32 million, according to the most accurate databases of U.S. small businesses or U.S. businesses. There's over 32 million of them now. Granted, when you pare it down to the ones that are actually registered and filing income taxes and so forth, you're looking at closer to 22 billion, a million. But nevertheless, there's a lot of businesses that are paying taxes that are being run by individuals, and the individuals are paying taxes, and so the other 10 billion, a million don't show up as businesses, but nevertheless, they're still operating as independent businesses that are paying without registering as a business, but paying their own personal taxes. So there's this money that's going to be borrowed on top of the Puerto Rico debt is all funded by the economy, the taxpayers. I mean, paid back, gonna be supposedly paid back. But let's look at a marketing and advertising program for local independent business owners, which are stuck over the last few, you can say decades, that had no way to compete with franchises that are funded by 15% and national 15% off the top of incomes of all the franchises to use each one for their own marketing, brand marketing and promotion, and all of the advertising, which, by the way, is represented by the prices on the menus of the franchises and on the products and the services that the franchise sell to customers. All that advertising has got to be paid for, and it's paid for in the prices that the franchises charge. So all of the advertising and marketing that's done is done basically by big companies and franchise companies, and all because of their big hundreds of millions, even billions, if you look at the aggregate of advertising budgets, and the advertising broadcast industry and the advertising agencies and all of the creative work that's done and so on and so forth that's paid for by advertising budgets comes out of the prices that consumers pay, and that's how that advertising is priced. And that's the price that the big franchise companies and the big companies pay. In my opinion, much of it is just a total waste because while it might bring some awareness to consumers by the repetitive nature of all that high-priced advertising, the fact that you see brands advertised one right beside another one starts to give you the idea that this is just a little bit of waste going on here that really doesn't affect which particular brand people buy. Advertising today is more targeted at the objective or strategy of maintaining market share, not getting new customers. They're just desperately trying to maintain market share with all this spending, and this is just driving the prices for consumers. And that's one of the reasons why you see the biggest in the business world failing, because they're spending so much money trying to maintain their share, and that forces their prices up, and consumers are earning less and less and less income, and therefore there's a squeeze in the middle, and we see, well, Toys R Us is a good example, declaring bankruptcy right before the biggest selling season of the year. Now, how does that make any sense? It's going to make the bankruptcy possibly resolved a little bit better if you apply those sales against that bankruptcy situation, but it still comes back to the fact that there's a serious problem. Now, how does this all reflect back on the local independent business owner in every city in the United States? And they employ more people than anybody else does in the United States, and yet there's no way for them to advertise effectively or efficiently because they don't have the top line to generate the budget that allows them to advertise, because advertising, you can't advertise once every 3 4 months or twice a year and expect to get anything done. It doesn't work that way. You've got to be out there every day advertising, and there isn't a small business owner, any of those few of those 32 million businesses that are operating in every city in the United States that can advertise on a regular, daily, day in and day out, week in and week out, month in, month out basis. They just can't do it because they don't have the pricing of advertising today is such that there's no way that they're going to buy any kind of advertising that allows them to promote their businesses and advertise their businesses on a day by day, week by week, month by month basis. It just isn't. It's just not possible. However, with a little bit of thinking, and you can develop, and I have developed a business plan that allows certain small businesses to advertise on a regular basis and in a way that they are able to compete effectively and impact market share in their city, in their category of business, uh, uh, in their city. Because it's not just the fact that you're competing as a business owner, small business owner in a city. It's not just that you're competing for the disposable income of consumers. That's one thing, because most of the dollars that consumers have to spend have to go for the things like where am I going to live, and how am I going to buy food, and well, how am I going to clothe my family, and blah, blah, blah. And so there's less and less money available for disposable income, which most business owners locally that are small business owners depend on for their profit and their income, for their personal income and families. So it's not just that they're competing as a group, small businesses, for that disposable income, but it's also a very, very critical factor of competing within your category of business for the amount of disposable income for the consumers in your city. Yeah, that's really where the cheese gets binding, because uh, let's say you own a beauty salon that's an independent beauty salon. I'm not talking about a franchise beauty salon. I'm talking about, to say you own an independent beauty salon, which there are more of them than there are the franchises by far. Um, and You're not only competing for the disposable dollar of the beauty salon customer, but you're also competing against every other independent beauty salon in your city for the disposable dollars, aren't you? So you're squeezed from both sides into a middle where there's no way to buy advertising because you don't have the top line. So consider my business plan. That's this video, my business plan with all of its benefits are beyond the scope of this video. But I'm trying to point out in this video that besides all the other problems you have uh, as a small independent business owner that I just described, the squeeze from both sides after the competition for the disposable dollar of consumers in your city, and then being in the middle where you're being squeezed from both sides, but you can't buy advertising in order to compete for a bigger market share in your category of business. So my business plan, Zip Code Associates, solves that problem. And the way that the benefits are structured, I take the agreement for the Zip Code Associates membership income for the investment, which by the way is $30 a year and $9 a week. Now, every small business can make that kind of an investment when you consider the benefits and the strategy of the membership program. So look at it carefully, study it, and email me or Skype me, and I'll explain it to you so that you understand it. Because the rationale, the logic is there, and everything is CPA verified and CPA audits online to validate the fact that my business plan with contract agreement published on the internet that states that 100% of the advertising dollars invested by Zip Code Associates is used to advertise and promote the members. And half of the membership is used for cash awards, and that's why I've got Puerto Rico cash awards up there to get your attention with the Puerto Rico debt that's out there that's just going to be added to the debt, which is going to make the squeeze from both sides for that disposable income higher because the debt is reflected in the amount of money, the taxes and things that people have to say. Now, we're talking about tax increases. The executive Trump administration is talking about tax overhaul, and we'll see. We'll see what right after the headlines come out about the big announcement, it come right behind it and said, but the Republicans are, well, the Republicans of all people are trying to. Apparently, there's something they don't like about it, and of course, we know on the other side of the fence there's going to be a lot of foot dragging, and or special interest involvement, and so forget about that. Just get down to the one main thing that makes the world go around, and that's getting new business and getting new business in a profitable way. In order to do that, you have to have an effective and an efficient way to advertise locally, and my Zip Code Associates does that for you. So when I call it Puerto Rico Cash Awards, I'm talking about taking half of the dollars that you're going to spend as an approved Zip Code Associate with my program in your city, in your zip code, where you can compete effectively because of the fact that you've got branded coupons and a cash fund coming in that can be used for weekly cash awards to consumers. That'll get their attention, trust me. So the Puerto Rico Cash Awards is the debt protection solution for local independent business owners to use my marketing plan to get new customers and compete against not only against the franchise company, because I don't allow any franchise companies or national companies into my business plan, so you don't have to contend with them. You're offering weekly cash awards to customers coming from that Puerto Rico Cash Awards marketing program that it takes half of the dollars that you use out of that $30 a year and $9 a week that all of the approved members by zip code, by category, and my business plan in every city, chapter city membership has available to use to provide to consumers, and then only branded cloverleaf coupons available only at approved zip code associate businesses in each city, in each zip code, in each category. And the cash awards are done by each category as well. So this is a well thought out business plan, and it's verified. Everything that's done is disclosed on the internet by my legal and certified program that is CPA audits and CPA verified and CPA audits online. You see, you have to have some, when you're talking about a program as vast as mine is and as low cost as mine is, you have to have some way to wash away the skepticism that is always inevitably going to be present. When you start talking about massive benefits that my business plan offers, the strategy of it, immediately you've got skepticism thrown in your face if you're like me and you're trying to get the program sold to local independent business owners. They're going to say, well, how in the world are you going to take all the money you spend for I spend for advertising, and give it back to us, all of us that are members of your program? Well, the answer is real simple. You just take some of that money and you contract with CPA, with a certified public accountant, state licensed, by the way, and that contractor runs an audit on all the membership income, and does a financial audit, and extracts and indicates all the expenses which you've got: member acquisition. But as a membership, the only way the benefits are going to work is if the membership list is full in every city, because that's where you get the income. That's where you get the generation of the cash awards, because half of the income goes to cash awards. That's how you select. And the consumers that register for ABCD email list are the ones that qualify for the cash awards and are given cash awards by these local independent business owners, who are approved by zip code, by category in their city. The only way you can get members is you got to have a member acquisition program, and there's a cost associated with that, so there's a budget associated with that. And that's how the memberships are acquired. The business members, that's how they find out about it. And because it's budgeted, the sales program, the marketing program is budgeted, and some of that money comes out of there. And it's a building process. It's a scaling up process. It's not going to happen overnight, but as it happens, it grows, because other businesses in other cities and other categories of business, by zip codes in those cities, recognize that other business owners are being successful with it, because the information is published on their local page deals web page that comes with the membership program. And that's why you need an IT department, the website maintenance people, who are the technicians that can provide your web page, your local page deals. That's spelled PAGZ, deals, for the Z on the end. You get a local web page, page deals web page with your membership, and that's where you're able to show your coupon offers on a regular basis, and you need a budget for that to keep that coupon information, the cloverleaf coupon information, fresh. And so there has to be a budget for that. And the $9 a weekly that is that is invested every week, that's aggregated and used as the budget for each one of the categories of expenses of operating the membership, then that is how we go continually forward and grow the membership list. And as the membership list grows, there's more cash income available. There's more cash weekly awards available for local independent or local customers, and only accessed by approved zip code associates in each chapter city. In each category, there's a weekly cash awards. So every category of business has their own cash awards. So every category and every zip code, if there's more than one category of business in a zip code, then they each have to be in separate carrier routes. So it's possible. Look, there's 20, 30, 40,000 people in zip codes, customers. So forget about trying to do business across town and get them over at your business in your zip code. You've got plenty of customers if you've got a way to get them to focus on doing business with you instead of where they're spending their money now, that is not helping you, and it's not helping the other guy either, because the other person, the woman or man that owns the business, because they can't get enough of, they can't advertise either, so they can't get enough increase in their business way in their category, because they're competing with everybody else in their category. And so my plan focuses this thing down to where it makes a difference for specific businesses in specific categories, in specific cities, in specific zip codes in those cities, and it funds the whole operation. And then you've got, in addition to the 50% for the weekly cash awards, which I've subnamed Puerto Rico Cash Awards as a look. Marketing and advertising is about getting attention, isn't it? And debt protection solution associated with Puerto Rico Cash Awards is all related to a protection for the local independent business owner, because so you're making a lot more money, and if you pay a lot more taxes because the debt has gone up, because the hurricane problems, and because of the debts, from what I can tell by researching, I'm not trying to be critical, but from what I can tell, the debt is in Puerto Rico is the same as it is in the United States, but it's just been a total disaster as far as managing the situation. And that's another story. but so debt protection solution relates to the common sense idea that if you can do more business in spite of the fact that you might be paying a lot of taxes. Now, hopefully, we're going to get a tax break. That's fine. But in that case, you're going to be able to keep more of the money that you earn. But the name of the game is do more business. Do more business on a competitive price, and increase your share of market in your category of business in your city. And that's the real solution. And that's why a debt protection solution means that when you do more business and you're making more income, earning more income, it's a hedge against the debt, isn't it? It's a hedge against the idea that the debt is massive and it's gonna have to be added to with the problems with the rebuilding that has to go on. The money's got to come from somewhere, and it's going to come from the way the debt is financed, and that impacts you as a local independent business owner and the customers. So thanks for studying this out. And if you have any questions, my email address is on the last frame of the Tedio video, and my Skype business telephone number is there. You want to ask questions, you got concerns, I can answer any question to your satisfaction that you want to pose to me. All right, so thank you. Apologize for the long video, but there's a lot you can't just say it in 2 or 3 words when there's a strategy that is a complex strategy designed to help you earn more income by doing more business as a local independent business owner. And if you happen to be a consumer watching this or viewing this video and listening to it, you get an idea that if you can get weekly cash awards at certain businesses, it's probably a good idea to do business with those businesses instead of the ones where you've been going that don't give you a nickel and charge you higher prices, always charge you higher prices. So thank you again, and I'll see you around the corner. Bye.